I don't think I'm breaking any new ground when I say Disney has been falling off for the last 4 or 5 years. And no, Into the Spider-Verse does not count because that's from Sony. Disney has been extremely mid when it comes to everything. The Little Mermaid made trash, and seeing them go out in flames like this, their shows flopping, their movies barely breaking even, because they're casting the worst people possible to play these parts. In my opinion, Rachel Zegler should have never ever been cast as Snow White. And on top of that, it feels like she doesn't even want to do the movie. It feels like they're forcing her to make the movie. I truly haven't seen anyone this unlikable in so long. I cannot remember the last time someone was this fucking annoying, this fucking pretentious. She seems like the most annoying person on planet Earth, and I'd rather eat dirt at 3 a.m. than to ever engage with this woman in real life.
Like past interviews on the subject of Snow White that were largely ignored at the time, but have soon come back to haunt Disney and Rachel in recent weeks. And holy shit, have they provided fertile ground for backlash and mockery.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. I just mean that it's no longer 1937 and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. Reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power.
I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
But it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows?
Shite. 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 Oh yes. That's shite.
No offense, Rachel, but you're making it pretty tough for people to like you. Now, I don't pretend to know what exactly was going on in her head when she said stuff like this. Maybe she was just a bit nervous and overwhelmed by all the attention and didn't know how to respond with the kind of slick, blandly diplomatic answers that a more experienced celebrity might have given. Maybe it's because she's young and idealistic and just blurted out the first thing that came into her head about the movie and the character. And so I don't really want to dump on her too much for all this controversy. Yeah, she's definitely creating the impression of a spoiled, entitled, narcissistic actor who totally doesn't appreciate the amazing opportunity she's been given. Yeah, her comments on the actors' strike were pretty poorly judged for someone getting paid more from one movie than most actors make in their entire lives. And yeah, the things she's saying about Snow White make it seem like the very antithesis of the animated classic that stood the test of time a lot better than her own movies likely to. But really, when you get right down to it, she's just another dumb actor saying what she thinks people want to hear. The bigger problem is the studio culture that someone like Zegler represents, because you can bet your left arse cheek that most of these talking points were handed to her directly by the PR people at Disney. Yeah,
like, if you don't want to make the movie and you're like, yeah, you know, this fucking guy was stalking Snow White and something, I don't know, I never watched the movie because I was scared of it, right? According to her, no, we're not doing it this time. This time it's going to be about powerful women. And don't get me wrong, I'm not the people who are against this. I'm not one of those people who are like, Barbie is the worst movie of all time, burn it to the ground, it should be banned. I actually enjoyed Barbie, right? Call me whatever you want, but I thought Barbie was a good time. If your mind isn't 24/7 on politics, it feels like she's been kidnapped and forced to do this. Why would Disney hire someone who doesn't like the product? And it's clearly to be diverse. Like, do you think Disney actually cares about racism? We gotta get a Latina Snow White, and instead of dwarves, because that's so racist, right, and evil, we're not gonna hire midgets. Instead of giving jobs to midgets who already have a hard time getting jobs as is, let's just hire black people, white people, and make those the dwarves to be more inclusive. It's like, by doing that, you took away someone's job. You took away the midget's job to perform, because those people rarely get jobs as is, and giving it to quote unquote regular sized people. What the fuck are you doing? But instead, because you don't want to be accused of being ableist or something, you get black people to play the role. It's a very interesting decision. No matter what you choose, you're going to piss the midget community or the black community or the white community. That's what happens when you try and pander to everyone. You're going to end up pleasing no one. And I say this as a Latino. She should have never been cast. She doesn't look the part. It should have been someone else. Not even taking the looks into consideration, she just seems extremely toxic and unlikable. And then I found this tweet and it says, 3 years ago, Rachel Zegler, Snow White, sent her fans, she has fans, to bully Gina Carano over the boop bob beep pronouns thing. Gina just called out Rachel as a lying hypocrite after she tweeted, and I quote, "I hope the world becomes kinder." And I did find the tweet, and this is her profile. This looks like an edgy 10-year-old. All black because everyone's criticizing her. So back in 2020, she tweeted, "Do not make fun of people's pronouns." And of course, because it's Twitter, it did crazy numbers. Then everyone started tagging Gina, the person who was like, "Yeah, my pronouns are beep bob beep beep." It's crazy posting something like this and then saying your fans to like tag the person and be like, "Yeah, you're a shitty person," whatever. And then when everyone's calling you out and criticizing you with valid claims, you're just like, I hope the world becomes kinder, guys, because I was mean to people and it's cool when I do it, but when someone else does it to me, then that's not so awesome. And then I found this video.
I get stopped for photos every time I'm online for the Snow White ride, and it is I have to pretend like, oh God, well, crazy that we're in front of this.
Wait, how long?
It's like I'm standing there waiting for the photo op, being like,
Well, you kind of are, you know?
No, I guess
it's like
so.
if Harrison Ford.
I'm Snow White!
Is that your favorite ride? I mean, that's a weird thing that you are Snow White now.
I mean, It's one of the original. I'm a really big Disney fan. I grew up at the Disney parks. My parents took me every summer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's like, it's a part of my upbringing. It's my favorite thing, so it's just one of those things that comes with the territory.
Well, then if you love it, don't let them scare you.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again.
So what is it? Did you watch it and like it, or you never liked it? This movie is going to flop. My sister even brought this to my attention. She was like, "Yeah, this Rachel girl, the Snow White, is so fucking annoying." And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm glad it's not only me who's like, "Yeah, this bitch is kind of crazy." I'm glad it's other women who are like, "Yeah, like she's really rubbing me the wrong way. She's just so pretentious and so full of herself." And there's way better movies coming out next year when this movie's gonna come out. So why waste your $15, $25 on this movie on someone who doesn't even like you? Someone who would consider you a racist if you dare criticize her because she's Latina, and how dare you as a straight white man call me out and criticize my actions even though they're pretty shitty. If I could describe Rachel Zegler in one word, it would be cringe.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.